let their champions attempt to defeat me. Let them swell their ranks with powers stolen from their own future's defeat. They will ultimately fail. I am Brainiac, and the Earth will be mine.
If you're new to massively multiplayer online games or just need some superpowered action, DC Universe Online might have what you're looking for. Where online RPGs are concerned, DCUO doesn't have the heaps of content and long-term appeal other games have. You get to level cap incredibly quickly, and the game relies on the promise of better gear to keep you grinding after that. Yet the flashy, action-packed combat, 2 big, great-looking cities, and colorful comic scenes keep the game lightly entertaining and a good bet for anyone wanting something immediately satisfying. This isn't the kind of game that's likely to keep you invested beyond the free month. It doesn't offer the lasting value of other games with monthly fees. It's more like a palate cleanser, and some quirks aside, it's a fairly good one at that. If you've played City of Heroes, City of Villains, or Champions Online, the character creation options might seem a little light. They're still robust though, so you can still make a great looking character, but perhaps not one that portrays your exact vision. The good news is that as you play, you buy and earn new gear, some of which is cosmetic, and some of which changes your stats. But equipping more effective gear doesn't mean you have to change your look. Cosmetic changes and stat changes are handled separately, so you might equip a cape that gives you an edge in battle, but still show off those wings that make you look so awesome. In any case, what helps make DC Universe stand out is that heroes and villains occupy the same virtual space, and so you choose to be a hero or villain. Select one of 3 mentors like Lex Luthor or Wonder Woman, select a basic power set and weapon type, and then speed around Metropolis or fly above the streets of Gotham City to either stop some trouble or get into some.
Trigon will be released.
Once you're ready to make a mark on the world, you use your combat skills and superpowers to beat up on your victims. From the moment you begin, DC Universe Online is appealing because it feels like an action game. Your staff strikes and bow shots have immediate impact, and you earn new combos as you play. You only equip 6 powers at a time and can switch back and forth between loadouts that match your group role. This gives the game a tactical element like what you see in Guild Wars, since you have to make some choices, though Guild Wars is far more flexible in this regard. In any case, from here you take part in standard kill this, interact with that missions that hold few surprises. Having missions given by famous, fully voiced heroes and villains gives some good context to them at least. Most story-based missions have you entering instances that conclude with an end boss like Dr. Fate or Bane, followed by a gorgeous comic book cutscene. These are one of the best things about the game and a real treat for DC fans. You also can take part in more expansive group missions called alerts, player versus player arenas, and other content types. There's no player auction house and no crafting system to round out the game's features. DCUO's primary focus is to make sure you're either in battle or on your way to one. It won't take you that long to hit the maximum level of 30. The leveling curve is tight, so rather than leave you with content gaps, DC Universe Online compresses its content. The upside is that you always have things to do. The downside is that after 20 hours of play or even less, you stop gaining new powers and skills. That doesn't mean that you run out of things to do, however. At level 30, you unlock new content like new group missions, raids, and duos. Duos are 2-person dungeons that can be queued up like alerts in PvP arenas. They're a good length, not so short as to be anticlimactic, not so long as to be tedious. If you wanted something more lengthy, the raids in level 30 dungeons take more time. They can also be challenging. For example, taking on Chemo is fun, but you'll need a smart group and a good tank to get the most out of it. You earn favor with different factions and gain access to new equipment this way after the level cap, but DC Universe Online doesn't hold a glut of surprises at this point. Whether or not you stick with it depends on how much you get out of the arenas and other repeatable content. It also depends on your patience with the game's numerous technical and interface quirks. Voice chat has been a big problem on both platforms, sometimes working right, often not. You can't drop missions, so older ones will clog up your journal. You can't share missions with group members, which means diminished rewards for friends helping you out. If you aren't careful, you can also lock your buddies out of a boss fight if you trigger it before they're in the immediate area. The chat sensor, which you can't turn off, is ridiculously sensitive. Each platform also has its own specific peculiarities. PC players may not like that the interface was clearly designed for console use, but they get fast load times and zippy menu performance. Combat feels like a more natural fit for a gamepad, but visual hitches, sudden pauses, and a sluggish interface hold back the PS3 version. Getting into more detail would entail stretching this video review out for another hour, so for more information be sure to check out the written review. Suffice it to say, whether or not you play DC Universe Online depends on what you want from an online role-playing game. If you value the wonder of exploring an expansive world or wanted to find a new digital universe to make a home in, this game isn't likely to satisfy. On the other hand, if you want something immediately fun, flashy, and fast-paced, DC Universe Online does what it does pretty well. You probably won't invest for the long term, but you can still squeeze a month of light entertainment out of the latest superpowered online game to hit the market.
He is an evil that has destroyed 10,000 worlds, and we are next.